edition of JD's Let's Talk. So let's talk. Today I'm ranking down 16 of my jobs. Have it in 4 categories, if you believe it. The job itself, the people, which means the corporation and the people, that average, and then a mashup. So, like, if you ranked one with work experience, and then one with, and then I take the one from the job itself, and then one from the people corporation, put them together, and that is the 4th category. Before I start this, little update: I am back in New York. I do have a plan, a better plan this time. I didn't do things wrong, but I am going to do things much better. My plan is about $6,000 on a car. That means the car, getting it registered, and all the crap you gotta do in New York, and about $3,000 for moving. So that should be March or April, depending on when I get my taxes back, and depending on when I get into a place, because I'm not going down without a place. So that's that. So that being said, I wrote them out in order of when I worked. I'm not counting jobs I've spent like a day. Piggly Wiggly. I worked for a company called Piggly Wiggly. They're a market kind of store for the South. Worked there for a day because Johnny hadn't come back, so Chelsea still needed help with Teo, and it was only $8 an hour $8 an hour, and it was going to be like 20 hours a week. It wasn't going to be worth it. Then we have stuff like Burger King. Yes, I did work for Burger King, technically for about a month. However, I only stepped foot in there twice, 3 times, count the interview, but for orientation, and then I shadowed. The reason why is because they had me as a floater, and nobody told me. That just meant if somebody called off, then they were going to call me, and I didn't get any work in a month, so that wasn't worth it. I did have a job in Plainwell. It was a factory job. I was way too depressed at the time. I was trying to get back to work, and that didn't work. I did another factory job in Hastings, but I got the assistant manager job for Family Dollar. So, the pay for Family Dollar is going to be less and less hours, because the factory job, after a couple months, you were unionized, so mandatory overtime. None of that sounded any fun. So I waited, because Family Dollar, you can transfer. I'm still on good terms with them. I can still work for them, and they are all over the country. And I didn't count any jobs working for my father, because that would be number one. My father's crew was always great because they always worked hard. If you didn't work as fast as him, you would get run over. So everybody was on the same pace, same pay. Everybody was equal, and the jobs were awesome. Always hands on. I'd rather be hands on, mostly outdoors. So let's jump into my history. First, and I didn't count the dishwashing job I did for a couple times as when I was 14, because again, that was only a couple times. I worked under the table. My uncle was the cook, so I got a free dinner, and I think like $20 every time we went in. My first actual job was burn dairy. I was stock. I worked 2 nights a week. I stocked the ice cream. I lost that job because one of the cashiers was doing ice cream, and she forgot to turn the freezer on, melted the ice cream, and blamed it on me. Yeah, I know. So just sit back and enjoy all these, what sounds like excuses. It's great. Applebee's. I was dishwasher. Red Lobster dishwasher. Walmart, I worked there twice. Um, I worked in toys. I assembled bikes and overnight door greeter. Sitel, twice. Verizon and DirecTV. I think I worked there twice for Verizon, but Dollar General as assistant manager. Goodwill as a team lead. Shoe department as a key holder. OSL, they sell, their third party sells phones out of Walmart. Serviu, assistant overnight manager. Family Dollar, assistant manager. B2, I worked in the toys. That is a company, I think it's bankrupt. They bought used and unclaimed pilots from Walmart and Amazon. I got to work toys at that. Alongside that, because it was part time, I worked at Megabev. Then I moved and went back here last year. Dandy, I work at Dandy now. Mac Daddy's, North Carolina. It was the first job I had nothing. Well, Piggly Wiggly, but I don't got that. Mac Daddy's, and then the last job was Travel L. Really, they really spelled it loud. It's Trav L. Trav dot dash L. It's travel, holiday travel. So that is that list. Let's go into all these other awesome lists. Coming in at 16 is Sitel as a job. I sold Verizon. And then I did customer service for DirecTV. Customer service, especially for phones, trying to sell them, it sucks. So surprise on the list. Next on the list, 15 is OSL. Then we have Applebee's. That's dishwasher. Applebee's dishwashing station is small, and it's right there next to the line cooks. Red Lobster beats it out because the dishwashing station had their own room. I also did the biscuits, potatoes, and soup. Bernie Dairy is on here because stock a couple nights. So, I haven't been numbering these. Bernie Dairy 12, Red Lobster 13, Applebee's 14, OSL 15, 11, Mac Daddy's. I ran cash register. I sprayed people's shoes. I gave out shoes. Bowling alley. It was Mac Daddy's an arcade, not a strip club. It wiped down the bowling where people sit with the bowling lanes and put the balls away. And also cleaned the bathrooms. That's 11. 10 is Dandy. I do cash register. I also like doing deli. I hate Subway, which is why this is 10. And I want to start going in since we're understaffed. If they give me 3 days off, one of the 3 days I'd like to go in for a few hours and clean, boosting up my hours, because usually they have me working like this week 10-hour shifts. Friday is 4 a.m. to 2. Yep, and then Saturday is closed 2 to 12. Walmart is 9 because I really loved toys, working in toys, and I really loved putting together bikes. I was left alone. However, overnight door greeter was the most stupid thing ever. That itself is the worst job I've ever had. I worked overnights. Nobody comes in past 3 o'clock. I cleaned the stupid claw machines, soda machines, front doors about 1,000 times per night. You usually just stood there because you weren't allowed to sit, which is dumb. 8, shoe department. I didn't mind putting out shoes. I was in charge of men's, so the men's always look great. In the shipment, I put out the shoes. No, I didn't have to put shoes on anybody's feet like Al Bundy. 7 is Dollar General. I was assistant manager, so I'm the one that came in when the manager, like we did 3 and 2. So I would close 3 days, she would open 3 days, and then I would open 2 days, and she would close 2 days, and then we'd both have 2 days off. So I would have to put the rest of stock away from the morning shift when I got there, and I was in charge. So that was fun. Servium overnight. Um, it Serviu is a stocking company for um, Myers, which is a grocery store, more like a Walmart, but it's for Michigan and Upper Ohio. So they stocked Myers brand stuff and imported stuff. They also did resets, which I love doing resets. By the time we were done with the resets, it'd be like, okay, stock a couple things, and then it's time to go home. I was in charge of the overnight crew, which is about 3 people, 2 or 3 people. The other cool thing is no uniforms, and I wore my earbuds. The only problem with is I was actually at that time living out of my car, so my mental state wasn't that great, or that probably would have been one of the best jobs. But I got 6. 5 is Family Dollar. I was assistant manager, so again, I was in charge of um, taking care of stuff when we had an attitude of this is a very small store. Get everything done. Ship truck came on Friday, Thursday or Friday. Took a couple days to get it, like a day or two to get it out and put up, and then straightened out, and then we just kept the store clean. Busy, busy, busy. It was good. B2, I was in charge of toys. Really didn't have, was really just in charge because B2 is one of those companies like Matt Denny who hired a bunch of children. 3 is Goodwill. I love the people who came in Goodwill, shoppers, and working Goodwill. And I had to learn as a team lead all the departments. I really like donations because you get to check out what everybody's bringing in and price them. And sometimes we kept stuff from donations and put it out, and other times we sent it back to corporate. Let's see, that's 3. 2 is Megabev. I sold alcohol, stocked alcohol. It was fun learning a bunch of stuff, and the job wasn't hard at all. Oh, the only thing I didn't like was stupid cans. They take back cans, but you have to take them in the back and sort them because they're picked up by distributor. That was the pain in the rear end. But luckily they had lists of what went in each box. Then when the box got full, you took the garbage bag out of it, tied it, threw it in the corner for them to come pick up. And then Travel L, that was awesome. I was outside. I was a park ranger. They going to change the name of that. But basically, if you got there in the morning before everybody else did, you cleaned the pool, made sure that got running. Then you got in a golf cart and you picked up garbage, made sure the park was clean, the empty slots were ready for people to come in. Then you would lead people to their destination or sit in the guard shack at the gate. That was just for peace of mind. You weren't supposed to let anybody in and didn't have a pass, either on their golf cart or in their vehicle. But it was just outside on the beach and beach access, and the breeze from the beach would come over, and it was just awesome. So those are jobs by the jobs. What I had to do. Those are ranked by them. Now we're people. Coming in at number 16, the worst people I've ever worked with. Shoe department. I did have a couple of people in the shoe department that are awesome, but the company sucks. District manager took advantage of the fact I wanted to be manager, worked my rear end off, and I was awarded nothing for it. The manager who hired me was on her way out, so she threw a big hissy fit and made a mess. Below that is Dollar General. The reason why Dollar General is on here because when I started the reform, my father had a heart attack. It was just easier for us for Chelsea's job to go visit New York in the summer at the same time. Now this we had just split. Um, so she had already had the time off. I told them about the time off before they hired me, and then I ended up, as it was coming, the manager ended up getting more and more what seemed to be frustrated. So I told her I would take it off at work instead of going. She said, never mind, that it was already filled by one of the other district managers. My hours, that being, by the time Friday rolled around, while I was on vacation, for time for me to come back and notice I wasn't on the schedule, she went through this whole list of bull crap when I called to figure it out. None of it was true. I tried to say I didn't meet with the district manager, but he had an appointment. I had him in his office. Didn't check in the vendor. That was wrong. I did it by hand, signed it. Oh yeah, and then the cashier couldn't find me, which was also wrong because I took my lunch out in my car in the parking lot, and I told her. So at that point, she was like, I can just fire you because Michigan is a no fault state. So I went, okay, and took the job for Goodwill. Applebee's is next because, no offense if anybody's watching this in Line Cook, but they were just assholes. And the management he was also an asshole. OSL, because I really didn't work with anybody. They usually have like one person on. But I was also told the company sucks because they want you to stay away from prepaid as much as possible. I spent a half an hour helping this old lady with her phone, and I was told never do that again. Never spend more than 5 minutes prepaid. Walmart, well, we all know Walmart's corporation sucks. As far as people, I was left alone. I was taught how to use the Telezon, and then that's it. But we all know Walmart is a company. Dandy, I've gotten into it with the district manager about what. It was a whole thing last year. They do these dandy canes, and I really hate corporations who do charity. I know that sounds awful. They do raise a lot of money for charity, but the motivation, my thing is always motivation versus the outcome. Like going up to a homeless person and giving them money versus going up to a homeless person and filming giving them money. I think when you do something good, it's the not expecting anything in return. When these big corporations donate, it's a tax write-off. So all these, and they always brag about how much money they raise. Most people don't understand the tax write-off. However, I do have associates in accounting, so yeah, it's a giant tax write-off. That's why wealthy people stay wealthy because they donate towards the end of the year. Let's see, Dandy 11 Tennis Itel. They no longer exist where they used to. I think the company exists, but that spot where they were when I worked doesn't, because that's how great of a company we were. As far as people, most people stayed to themselves. I did have rides home, so there were a couple nice people. Burn Dairy, again, mostly by myself. The company's not a bad company. B2, again, bankrupt. They're kind of a crooked company. The people I worked with, the older people bickered with the younger people, but they always hired younger people. They had way too many managers in the store. manager for every department. And it's not a big store like Walmart, so Red Lobster company's good. The only reason why it's on here, because the reason why I got fired was back then, one no call, no show got you fired. I got sick. I called in. I not blaming. I don't even remember her name. Not blaming the hostess for taking my message. She might have been busy and completely forgot. You know how hostess you're, especially with like Red Lobster. So they ended up. My message ended up not getting to the manager and ended up being a no call, no show. Back then, you get fired for it. Now it's like 3 or 4 times before they're like, okay, you do it once, do it twice, you get written up, and do it a third time, now you're fired. Like, that's ridiculous. Serve you. Just I really didn't have enough time to get to know the company. People were really good, actually. People helped me out a lot. Mac Daddy's, again, they hired children. Manager I worked for trained me on cash register, which was supposed to give me $1 raise, but the company didn't. I say company, it was just owned by one guy. It's just owned by a guy named Mac. Family Dollar, again, the company's pretty good, and the people I worked with were really good, solid ladies. And then a younger guy who did all the running around because he couldn't work register. He was only 17. He was a redhead, and we called him a redhead stepchild. Travel, good company. People were bickering. I say people. It's just again, an older veteran. And I say veteran, I mean he worked there the longest. He was, and usually the people there seasoned, are told to train. And then you get the younger people come in and go, well, you're not technically the boss. Technically, you don't have to listen to you. Me, I just get stupid crap done. 2, Goodwill. Loved the people I worked with. I still am in touch with one of them to this day. Company is a unique company. Everything is, most everything. They do buy a couple things to resell, but most of it, or they do buy a couple things. Most of it is resell. Most of it is profit. It is what I kind of want to do. Except for I want to do it with toys, old toys and new toys. And then Megabev, the best people I've ever worked with. I still talk to every single one of them to this day. They all wrote me, they gave me a card when I left. My job is still open if I ever needed to go back. So as far as people, they win by a mile. Now, this, come on, Clippy. This is the average. Coming at number 16 from the average of both is Applebee's, which is not surprising. 15 is OSL. 14 is Sitel. 13 is Shoe Department. I thought they'd be higher. 12 is Dollar General. 11 is Dandy. 10 is Walmart. I know, it should be, I thought that would be higher. 9 is Burn Dairy. 8 is Red Lobster. 7 is Mac Daddy's. 6 is Serviu. 5 is B2. 4 is Family Dollar. 3 is Goodwill. 2 is Travel L. Or Holiday Travel. 1 is Megabev, which doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Now, let's combine these. Now, I took the job, and then I took the people, and then mashed them together. So, it'd be 1 and 1, 2 and 2. So, coming in at 16 is the work for Sitel, but the people from the shoe department. That's interesting. 15 is the OSL work, so selling cell phones at Walmart with the people from Dollar General. 14 is Applebee's, so dishwashing with the people from Applebee's, because they both got the same. Um, 13 is Red Lobster, so dishwashing, with the people from OSL, which wouldn't go very well, no, because it's just dishwashing. So at least you only need a couple of people. 12 is Burn Dairy, so stocking, with the people from Walmart. Walmart employees stock, so. Okay, before I was rudely interrupted. It was, okay, so 11 is Mac Daddy's, so bowling and cash register for the people from Dandy. 10 is the job I do at Dandy, so cash register, Subway, and deli for the people from Titel. I don't think that worked out very well. 9 is Walmart, so toys and bike assembly from people from Burnt Dairy, which is fine because I did Walmart by myself. You get shoe department from and doing that job from the people from B2. That would work. Dollar General, work with the people from Red Lobster. That could work. Serve you and serve you. Family Dollar job with the people from Mac Daddy's, which might be a little hard because most of them are, like I said, teenagers. 4 is B2 with the people from Family Dollar. 3, Goodwill with the people from Travel L. That would work. 2 is Megabev with the people from Goodwill. That would also work, as long as I know their alcohol. And then 1 is Travel L, the job, with the people from Megabev, which would be my dream scenario. Anyways, with that being said, much love, JD out.